Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Think Tank Sports. Think Tank Sports, where we think and you listen. Check us out on the socials Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Listen to us on Spotify for podcasters or wherever you listen to your podcasts, and watch us on YouTube. Well, we're back. We had the first game last night. We're recording here on Friday night. The NFL is in full action, and so are we, bringing back one of our fan favorite segments that we started last year, Lose With Us, where we go over some odds and bets for entertainment purposes only, of course, and we bring back our resident sharp Stevie Covers to help us out and guide us with some of these crazy decisions that we make. So, Stevie, welcome back. We're glad to have you.
Yeah, it's awesome to be here. And if you were following along last year, both Dave and I would have turned a little profit on units because we're not betting actual dollars, correct?
Correct.
And Mike would have probably lost most of his 401k. So,
Well, that was a
And
good
then some.
cautionary tale. Don't chase. When you get down,
That's right.
you can't chase and get into 18 parlays and all that nonsense. But just ask Calvin Ridley.
Hey,
Oh,
Hey, so let's go right here with Lose With Us. This is we're going to just give our future picks and odds for all of the end of the year awards, MVP, Coach of the Year, Rookie of the Year, that kind of thing. So we'll jump right into it. We're going to start with who we think is going to be the Coach of the Year for this season, and I'll go first, boys. I went with one Matt Eberflus from the Chicago Bears, and
wow.
I wanted to paint a picture for you guys of how I can see this happening. I also want to pick something with some decent odds. This is 11-1, so it's not crazy, but you can make some decent units on it. If Justin Fields developed into the Eberflus' second year as head coach, came from the Colts, lots of excitement there in Chicago. If Fields develops a little more, and the defense tightens up, and the Bears take that division, which is up for grabs for the first time in decades, frankly. This is a narrative award, meaning the media is going to pick a storyline that they like, and in the last 4 weeks of the season, that's all you're going to hear about. What a great job so and so has done. And I think he's a prime candidate for that. So Matt Eberflus, like I said, 11-1. Now these odds that we're going to give out are kind of a what's the word I'm looking for?
Hodgepodge.
Hodgepodge, an algorithm, a calculation. Yeah,
amalgamation.
That's the first word that came to mind, and I'm like, no, I'm not using that one. But this is a website that just gave us DraftKings, FanDuel, BetMGM. I'm not sure what everyone's using personally. So if you can't find this exact odds after you listen to this, don't add us. Okay, we're just doing the best we can for entertainment. So Matt Eberflus is off the board. Not that you can't have him as well. React to that, Steve, and then maybe give us your pick.
I don't mind that. I there's part of me that likes the Bears to win their division this year. So yeah, I don't mind that pick at all. So yeah, when I'm looking at these categories, I'm not looking for who I think is going to win. I'm looking for where do I think the most value is. Right. So I'm looking for the right intersection of payout times possibility of actual winning. So for me, I looked at Sean Payton. He's my runner-up at 16-1 because I feel like if he turns the Denver Broncos around after that disastrous season, I can easily see the media giving it to him because they already love him. Yeah. But as far as value goes, Mike, you're gonna love this. I went with your guy,
really?
Brian Daboll. Yep. The NFC
back-to-back coaches of the year.
The NFC is wide open. If he takes the Giants to a 2 seed, I think they have to give it to him at this point. So, and the odds are 40-1. So that's why I
Oh,
liked it so much, because there's a lot of value there.
yeah.
Yeah.
And with NFC being so wide open and the Giants having an easy schedule, I feel like there's an opportunity there.
No, you're right. I like that a lot. So very good and really meaty on the value. So excellent. Dave, react to our two picks, or you give and then give us yours if you would.
Dayball, look, I think it's a great pick. We've talked about the NFC in our preview, and the NFC is a couple of really good teams and then everybody else. So there's lots of opportunity there. Matt Eberflus, I think, has no chance. He is one of the Bears are one of the teams that we put in the better try next year category. And so I don't think Eberflus has a chance, but it's Mike's pick. So of course they don't have a chance.
Wow.
And for
right
me,
out the gate, you're answering.
right out of the gate. Yeah, you expect nothing less. and mine, and I would have picked this before last night anyways. I like Dan Campbell with the Lions. I just,
Chalky.
It is a little chalky, I know, but I just like what Detroit has done on defense. And their defense was so bad. They were worst in the league last year. They've made some moves. The division is up for grabs. I like Dan Campbell there. Mike, what did you have for odds for Dan Campbell?
Plus 850. So a little better than 9-1. Yeah. He is the favored that I saw. Dan Campbell, then Sean Payton, who Stevie mentioned, as his runner-up. Eberflus was third. And then Arthur Smith is listed as the fourth favorite at 14-1
for the Falcons.
Yeah,
that's a good one too. I could see that happening.
Not a fan of his.
I glanced at Arthur Smith, but yeah.
Great.
All
Stevie,
right.
why don't you run us through defensive rookie of the year?
Okay, defensive rookie of the year. Again, as I was looking at these, we're having to make some tough decisions. So I have a runner-up for both for this one as well.
Sure.
So my runner-up, Emmanuel Forbes, the defensive back for the Commanders, had a terrific training camp and preseason. I saw him at 16-1. I thought that was pretty juicy odds for a player who really could make a splash. The Commanders have a pretty solid defense, right?
Right.
So yeah, I thought that would be a good pick, but I couldn't pass up Tyree Wilson out in Las Vegas, for the edge rusher for the Raiders at 11-1. He looks like a beast. He looks like an absolute monster. I don't know what's going on with Chandler Jones out there. I don't know if anyone's been following.
Oh God, it's a disaster. I don't know who to believe. And I hate that he's a Syracuse guy. There's my double dip right there. Yeah. I don't like it, but yeah, we'll see. It'd be nice for Tyree Wilson to do some stuff and take some of the storylines away from Chandler Jones at this point. I like your pick, Stevie.
Thank you.
And why don't you give us yours, Dave? Since I like it too.
Yeah. I was looking around. I think there's a lot of good defensive players in this that were in this draft. And I went with Jalen Carter, the D lineman for the Eagles. He could arguably be the most talented defensive player in this draft. My only hesitation is the off the field issues that happen with him. And now he's in the NFL and he's got even less shackles on him, if you will. And my only worry is he's going to get himself in some sort of trouble and get suspended or something. And that would affect his rookie of the year status. But I think he's a tremendous talent. He's surrounded by a lot of other great players on Philadelphia. So there won't be as much pressure on him. And I think he can be really successful.
And hopefully some of those Georgia boys can keep him in line too, but he did, he went to school there, right?
Yes.
That's where
Alabama.
They
Alabama.
didn't do it then. Oh, he went
Alabama.
to Alabama. That's right. My
Yes.
bad. So maybe an
No, he went to
in-house
Georgia.
rivalry with Georgia. Yeah.
Mike was right. He went to Georgia.
Oh yeah, it's funny. I was like, yeah, he went to Georgia. For some reason, I wrote down Alabama.
Yeah.
He wrote it down wrong. But
Yes,
anyway,
I did. Anyways,
interesting that neither one of you went with Will Anderson, who seems to be the consensus. Like, he's far and away the favorite to win this at 4-1.
yeah,
I wouldn't take it because there's no value there, like Steve says. So this is a guy I liked a lot in college. I just noticed him randomly in a game I was flipping through. Lucas Van Ness, the edge rusher from Iowa. I mean,
Yep.
all Iowa does is play defense, and he was the best defensive player on that team last year. Just really quick, strong, and is really, I think, going to have a great season for the Packers. He has a lot of that Packer defense is not that bad. Their offense is going to be the question. And if you needed something to take you over the top, his nickname is Hercules. So can't go wrong with a little Hercules action. So Stevie, what do you think? What do you think about those picks?
Yeah, I like the Lucas Van Ness pick. I almost went there. I just think Tyree Wilson is a more impactful edge rusher, so I took him instead.
Yep.
I looked real hard at Jalen Carter, and the reason I didn't take him is because the Eagles' defensive line was already one of the top units in the NFL, and I just didn't feel like he could make a big enough impact on taking them from where they were to where they're going to be to earn the award. So that's why I shied away from that.
that's fair.
That's a very good point. But I also think, like Dave says, he's got a huge upside. So it wouldn't shock me if he all of a sudden was a sack leader and all of those. Dave, offensive rookie of the year. Why don't you give us your pick and how you arrived at that?
Oh yeah, I looked, and there's a guy that jumps right out immediately to me is Quentin Johnson with the Chargers. The wide receiver from TCU. He's got the body. He's got all the skills that you want, and he has Justin Herbert throwing to him. And he has a guy in Mike Williams, who I did actually draft on one of my fantasy teams, who tends to get hurt a lot.
Oh, it's your turn this year to have him?
Yeah, yes, it is. Yeah. And so I mean, I think Quentin Johnson's going to play anyways, but he could benefit from Mike Williams and whatever his latest injury is. So Quentin Johnson for me.
I like that. I think I thought it at pretty good odds. You have the odds there on Quentin Johnson, Mike?
I do. I have it right here. Right when I said I could get to it right away, right?
Yeah.
It's right at the top somewhere. Steve, give us your pick while I look that up.
Okay. Yeah. So
sorry, I got it. 22-1. So
22-1. So that is juicy and meaty.
I think the problem is he's probably the third option on his own team. So
yeah,
that's only criticism, but
yeah.
Until Mike Williams gets hurt, which he always does. Yeah.
Right. Stevie, what do you got?
Yeah, so I took a hard look at Zay Flowers, the wide receiver in Baltimore from Boston College, at 16-1. I feel like that's good value. I feel like he's going to be really involved in their offense. You guys know that I'm all about looking for value. I'm looking for fat odds, but on this one I couldn't do it. I had to go with the favorite, Bijan Robinson. I mean, plus 300. That seems like a can't miss. He's going to get 20 to 25 touches a game. He catches the ball. He's an excellent runner. He's powerful. He's fast. I feel like that's a layup.
Not only does he catch the ball, he lines up in the slot occasionally. At least he did in Texas and with there. I like Pitts. They've got some options there. So he's going to be really nice. So like you said, the odds make it not as attractive as maybe some others. And that's why I went with your aforementioned Zay Flowers.
Nice.
I was really between him and where is he? Oh, Smith and Jigba. I think the league obviously is breaking towards wide receivers. So the most instant splash, and we've seen recently with Jefferson and Jamar Chase, and all these guys that have come in and just taken the league by storm at a young age. And Zay Flowers, has all the tools to do that, and really had an underwhelming college career. But I think that was more because he was at Boston College and not anywhere that has a decent program. So 16-1, Zay Flowers.
16-1, nice.
The one caveat with this, with all of our offensive rookie of the year picks, is this is typically a quarterback award. So I mean, even Justin Jefferson, when he was a rookie, nope, they gave it to Justin Herbert. So it's typically a quarterback award. I think if there is a quarterback who's going to win it, I feel like it's got to be Anthony Richardson. Like it's not going to be Bryce Young. I don't think. It's not going to be
CJ Stroud. No.
Right. Yeah. Right. So if you want to look at a quarterback, that's probably where I would look, but not real strong candidates for the quarterback rookies this year.
Yep, agreed.
Totally. Offensive rookie of the year.
That's what we just did.
We just did that, Mike.
I know. That's why I'm going on to defensive player of the year. Is a gentleman that was at the game yesterday, but not necessarily in the game yesterday because he's holding out for a big contract. And of course, that's Chris Jones, the major defensive tackle for the Chiefs. We saw last night. I could see Drew Rosenhaus was sitting next to him, just counting the dollar bills as that clock ran out, because they're gonna make sure they sign him. And he's totally. I mean, he can be as dominant a player as he wants to be. I think, there's other players that certainly will be considered by the league, but I think he's just ready to become that superstar a la Aaron Donald and all these other players. So 25-1 for Chris Jones. So
get your ass on the field. That's the only way he's going to be able to do what you just said, Mike. He's being paid $20 million currently.
Yeah, true. If he holds out a couple more weeks, this bet will be dead in the water. But right now, I think he's got all the leverage, and you'll see that.
You just go ahead.
No, whatever you were about to say, I'm sure was brilliant.
You just sunk my battleship. That's what Chris Jones is saying after he listens to this.
Stevie, what do you have for defensive player of the year?
Yeah, I pictured Chris Jones going up to the Hunt family after the game and giving him the old Goodfellas line, "F you, pay me," because if he played that game, they would have won for sure.
That's right.
Him or Kelsey. So my defensive player of the year, I went with a guy who just got the bag. He just got paid. An edge rusher out there in San Francisco, Nick Bosa. At 12-1 odds, which surprised me.
Back to back, huh?
And they seem like long odds for a guy who just won the award.
Right.
Other guys I looked at were another D tackle, Mike, but who's going to play the whole season? Quinnen Williams.
Never heard of him.
Jets.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's an absolute monster. And at 30-1,
yes.
I think he's worth a couple of bucks.
Wow.
And then if you really want a long shot, I like Mike's guy, Kayvon Thibodeau, at 60-1.
I wish I was on board with that, but he's just not disciplined enough yet. He's got a lot of maturity.
60-1. Right. Yeah.
Right.
But he has the potential to make it happen, though. That's why it's a good long shot bet.
David?
Yes, I really looked at Quentin Williams, and he's going to be probably the best player on their defense, but he also plays for the New York Jets. So I went away from that, and I went with Mike's favorite team, the
Helmet Chucker. Did you go helmet chucker?
No, I went with the team with the stars on their helmets, and Micah Parsons for the Cowboys. I mean, he's as good as advertised as well, and he's going to be right there. I think Dallas is going to have a good year. We know they're going to choke in the playoffs, but their defense is tremendous, and I just think he's my pick.
Yeah, I mean, he's the odds-on favorite. He's plus 450, and certainly his talent is breathtaking. The speed, the closing speed, getting to the edge and holding the run, and he's something to behold for sure. Apologies to Myles Garrett and his family. I said last year I wouldn't call him the
helmet chucker, and you didn't.
And here we
No,
are.
that was last year, though.
Oh, okay.
This is a whole new year, Mike. You can do
He
whatever
is
you
just
want
tremendous talent. Tremendous talent. Nick Bosa and his brother Joey Bosa. What a tandem! Imagine that Thanksgiving dinner where like Joey, I have it 45-1 to win, and Nick's. I mean, if he wins back to back, you can't even show up to Christmas if you're Joey, right? Yeah, it's like no, Hanukkah's down the street, buddy.
now. Oh, wow.
Oh, sorry.
Wow.
No offense to our friends listening.
No.
All three of them.
All three of them.
All right. We did all three of us there, right? We're good?
Yeah.
On to Offensive Player of the Year, which, in my opinion, is the most ridiculous award given, because then what's the MVP? But that's another discussion for another day. Where are we at? Steve, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So, Offensive Player of the Year, I think you guys will agree, is basically they should just rename it non-quarterback MVP. Like that's basically what it is, right? Because the quarterback's going to win MVP, and then whoever the next best offensive player is, they win the Offensive Player of the Year. Super surprised when I saw this really good value on Justin Jefferson at 16-1 to win the Offensive Player of the Year.
Wow.
That's definitely worth a couple bones there. But I hadn't picked any Jets for any awards. I got to go with my guy Garrett Wilson, 25-1. We all know Aaron Rodgers loves to hyper target one player. He did it with 17 in Green Bay. He's going to do it with 17 in New York. We've already seen it. He loves him some Garrett Wilson. He could easily lead the league in receptions. And I think 25-1 is a crazy number on him.
Excellent value. Excellent value for sure. David, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think he's definitely he's going to be right there. I mean, the Jets are going to have, if they have anything close to the season, everybody thinks they're going to have a lot of their players in the running for these awards, because they're just going to be that good. I was thinking about Justin Jefferson as well. He won last year, but I just think, and we talked about this, the Vikings are going to drop off a bit. We have them in the running and the playoff contenders, but I think they're going to struggle a little bit, and I think that's going to affect Jefferson just enough. I don't know. I kind of went off a little bit from the non-quarterback, and I said Jalen Hurts, just because I think his combination of passing and running is just going to be, numbers to behold. But I don't think he's going to be the MVP. So I have Jalen Hurts as Offensive Player of the Year.
I'm scrolling down my list looking for Jalen Hurts at 30-1. So very good value.
Yeah.
Kind of like we said about some other players, there's so much talent on that team. Yes, he's the quarterback and he is the driving force. But then when you look at their wide receivers, I mean, they're going to get a lot of the shine too. So, and of course, NFC East, so I don't like them. But boy, in my life, I've never been as wrong about a quarterback as I was about Hurts. I really did not see this at all, and still have a little bit of a 3% belief that it's fool's gold. But maybe that's my giant fandom coming out. And not watching him with the proper critical lens. But that's me.
So who do you got, Mike? Who is your Offensive Player of the Year?
What do I have? I went pretty chalky. I think Christian McCaffrey is not only once in a generation talent, but could be an all-time talent if he stayed healthy. Carolina certainly beat him up, but what the job he did for the Niners in the second half of the season after the trade was tremendous. Getting everybody back healthy and being able to use him a la Bijan Robinson out of the backfield in the slot, running the ball. Even saw him throw a pass in the playoff game. So, not that was good, but I just really I've always liked him, and I think this could be the year. 14-1 for Mr. Christian McCaffrey, which is okay. It's not as meaty as some, but I just think he's far and away for me the pick. Steven?
Yeah, I love that. I really like the way San Francisco uses him. Like, he was on the field with them a lot less than he was on the field with Carolina, and his stats didn't seem to struggle at all.
Nope.
So I really love the way San Francisco uses him and tries to prevent him from getting hurt. So I like that pick.
Thank you.
And we come to the final award.
The
finale.
MVP.
The MVP. Yeah. There's no way. Stevie's making a face. He knows where I'm going. My MVP. it's Josh Allen. It's all I could say. I'm going total chalk. I'm going, total homer and everything else. This is going to be the year that he breaks through all of the. He's never won an MVP, and but he's done all these other things. So my pick is Josh Allen. Again, chalk, homer, whatever you want to say, triple dip, all of that. Josh Allen.
And he's plus 850. So he's actually third on the list. So it'd be interesting to see where we. Well, I'll give you mine now, and we'll let our sharp close us out here. I like Justin Herbert a lot. I think he's Josh Allen of 2 years ago. He's ready to make that leap in his third season. Ready to. He's got those weapons. You picked Quentin Johnson, Williams, Keenan Allen. The two tight ends are tremendous. I just think that, again, this one's another media narrative. Mahomes isn't probably going to get it just because of that, and I think Herbert, is poised for that. Stevie, you gave a little chortle when I said Josh Allen comparison. So, what was that all about, buddy?
I was just surprised by it. Who's Josh Allen from 2 or 3 years ago, whatever you said. I didn't realize Josh Allen was past his prime already, which is kind of what you were.
No, my point is he made that big leap, right? Josh Allen, the first 2 years was drop back and throw as far as he can and hope someone runs under it.
I got you.
Okay.
Right. And Josh Allen has made some big leaps, if you know what I mean.
Nice.
But if you'll listen, we recorded our, and this is a good time to remind people of our AFC and NFC preview podcasts that are out there, and then our New York State of Mind, recorded by these three fine gentlemen in front of you now.
Yep.
You heard my take on what I think Buffalo is going to be. Unfortunately for you, Dave, I didn't say that I was spite, or I just think they're going to take a half a step back, and other teams are going to pass them. So I hope I'm wrong for your sake.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Mike, the odds on Justin Herbert?
Justin Herbert, the Herb man. Good thing I had this all written down ahead of time, right?
Yeah, it's a really good thing.
And I can get to it. He's merely 11-1. So
11-1.
Like
okay.
Burning up the charts. But
yeah. All right.
Steven, finish this off, buddy.
Yeah, both of your picks, if those guys take a big step forward, can win the MVP. It would take a big step forward for each of them, because they obviously haven't won the MVP before. Dave, undeterred by the Madden curse. Nicely done. Yeah. I'm going to go with a guy who has already won the MVP of the NFL. And I see Dave's face. I'm not going to do what you think I'm going to do.
Okay, good.
This isn't hard knocks.
I'm not taking Aaron Rodgers.
Thank goodness.
Sir. No, I am taking Mr. Lamar Jackson to win the MVP once again. Yes, healthy, with a brand new offense, with the new coordinator, Todd Monken, coming in, and apparently they're going to throw the ball a lot more. So I think if Lamar can get 4,000 yards passing to add to his rushing game, at 16-1, longer odds than either of your picks for someone who already won the MVP. Yeah. I think that's where the value is in this category, is with Lamar.
Yeah, I really feel like the Ravens are, which is crazy just because they had a lot of injuries and didn't do so great last year. I feel like they're under the radar, and that is a really, really good football team. And I agree. Lamar Jackson's got some new weapons. I like that pick, Stevie. I do.
Thank you.
You guys know I'm not a big fan of Mr. Lamar Jackson's throwing abilities.
No, you are not.
He's a tremendous athlete, a great competitor, all of those things, but I'm afraid we're at his ceiling. And now, with Odell and Zay Flowers for future offensive rookie of the year, and Bateman, of course, Mark Andrews, a tremendous tight end. That's someone who's completely underappreciated.
Well, the nice thing, Mike, is if we're at Lamar Jackson's ceiling, he's already won an MVP. So if we're at his ceiling, he can do it again.
He can do it again. That's true. That's true. I think the media has already wrote that story, though. They're not going to. Just my opinion. Just my opinion. Patrick Mahomes is 6-1, the overwhelming favorite. Nobody took the Joe Burrow bait. Very interesting. He's plus 750. Josh Allen, David is plus
850. Yep.
Yeah.
I like Joe Burrow, but there just wasn't enough juice on that number.
Yeah, that's fair. I think he's going to have a good year. I mean, I don't think there's any questions he's going to have a good year, Joe Burrow, there in Cincinnati, despite the fact that he hasn't played very much and had the calf injury early in camp. And so as we go through that, we will certainly see how Joe Burrow does. But he's a good pick.
Yeah,
no doubt.
Yeah, I took him on one of my fantasy teams for the first time this year, so I hope he has a good season because it seems like a lot of fun to be a Joe Burrow owner.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And we somehow lost Mike there for a moment. If you're watching us on YouTube, he's gone.
We got through everything though.
We did. We got through all of our picks. And it'll be interesting. So we'll put those out there for some thoughts from folks and hope that goes well. See what you think. Tell us what you think. We'll also get our New York State of Mind podcast out so you can hear our opinions on the Jets, the Giants, and the Buffalo Bills. And we will watch football this weekend and get excited and do all of the things that Sundays become for the next 4 months as we live and die with our teams.
Thank God.
But Stevie, of course, we thank you for coming on. Appreciate it as always. And the Lose With Us will be a regular fixture throughout the football season and we'll go from there, but continue to pay attention to us, social media, listen to us, where you're getting your podcast, watch us on YouTube, and we will be out there telling you what we think about these things here at Think Tank Sports, where we think and you listen as we strive for 5. See you later, everybody.
Bye, everybody.